Hello and welcome to Tyson Teddy Talk, episode 35. It has been like 2, maybe 3 weeks. It's been a while. This is Tyson.
Hello.
He's pretty cool. I'm Teddy, and we're here to talk. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. Dude, how is life? I haven't seen you in like fucking 2 weeks.
It's been good.
Hell yeah. How was your trip? You were out of town last week.
Yeah. So I went on vacation. It was fun.
Nice.
Visited friends and family.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mostly just chilled. Didn't really feel like doing any. Didn't do too much.
Nice. That is
Had a lot
fucking
of food.
Dude, I forget how necessary actually relaxing is, and not only how necessary it is, but like how helpful it is. Like I had one day this last week where I basically I've been doing overtime at work until midnight almost every day throughout the week, and then I've also been doing it on Saturdays and Sundays a lot of the time for like the last 3 weeks. My job is super easy, but it's still like I'm not actually setting aside a day to just do whatever the fuck. So at one point last week, there was a day where I basically didn't finish out my full shift, and I stopped work around like 3-ish, and I only start work at like noon. So I only work for like 3 hours, and then I had the rest of the day. And it was like, oh shit, I could actually relax. And then the next day when I got on and started work, and then after work and whatnot, I ended up just like knocking out work a lot faster. I ended up like doing shit I had been meaning to do for weeks. Like I changed over my internet provider because I found out, fun fact, AT&T apparently also has internet in this apartment complex, and they now have fiber with no data caps for $30 less than what I'm paying now. And I was like, oh, all right. And I'm not paying for fiber right now. So I was like, wow. That's pretty nice. So I changed that over. I changed car insurance to like the new state as well, even though I've been here for a year. But like I did all this shit that I had been meaning to do forever because I took like basically a day off when I normally was supposed to be working. And then I just woke up the next day in a much more productive mood. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need that. There's a lot of, life is weird with how you can be like productivity and creativity are all like a weird balance that you need to hit between like work and stress and relaxation to all be productive and be creative, like, you know, a lot of the time. It's very interesting.
It's been over a year and a half since I've had a week-long vacation, and
Hell yeah.
not like in my own house. And that's the other thing is
Yeah.
that
Actually going
because working from home, it's like if I took a week off and then just stayed here, it'd be like I'm working. It would feel just like I'm working, even though I'm just playing games and whatnot. So
yeah,
which sucks.
even
And we're not like
even-
going back to work anytime soon.
yeah.
And it still is kind of like that kind of pisses me off.
You're still
If I'm
working
being-
from home from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly,
That's a whole
Canada,
other story.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how things are handled up there. I realized recently I'm probably not going to go see Shang-Chi in theaters because even though I am vaccinated, Arkansas is still one of the worst fucking states in the country. Arkansas is top 3 for like most cases of fucking COVID. And last time I went to see Black Widow, they said that there was going to be precautions. Like they said on the website that like when you book your ticket, the seat next to it will be empty on both sides. It was not. The theater was fully fucking backed. And I was like, that's not great. So I was already a little uncomfortable. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I'll honestly just wait, which sucks because I don't remember the last time I've ever done that for a Marvel movie. But after it's 45 days after they release it in theaters, then it's going to be on Disney Plus. So I was like, that's not terrible. It's like a month.
Oh, so they're done with day and date now.
I guess at least for Marvel.
But then
stuff.
they're gonna hit, or they're gonna not like they're not gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah. I think the Scarlett Johansson stuff like scared them maybe. But I don't really get why, because like just fucking
Just
her
pay your
whole-
actors.
yeah,
Just
her
pay
whole
them the
lawsuit
difference.
seemed reasonable. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Like, you're Disney. I don't care. Just, and you change, like, this has changed. This has changed the way the actors either don't put it in their contracts then, like, but the ones that now, like, they have to sign new contracts for this whole digital thing, just pay them. Like, Disney, it's like these big corporations, I've had enough of.
Capitalism, man.
It's like, yeah, it's capitalism, but like you still make a shit ton of profit. It's
Dude,
like,
okay. So this one,
it's not like Disney's hurting for money.
Yup.
And they never ever until the end of time, until another asteroid hits the fucking Earth, Disney's never going to lose money. They're never going to lose money. And so it's just like just do it, and then you'll look like the good guy. Even if you just was like by being greedy, you're putting the Disney, like, now that everybody sees this, they're putting like the Disney name, like, it's kind of like how we think about Sony.
Yeah.
Like, we love all the video games, we love the developers, but like higher up Sony and like the way they do certain things is just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's not a good company.
Yeah. Especially like, I mean, there's a lot of different video game companies nowadays that are like that. Like fucking, I mean, Activision, EA.
Blizzard,
but like, for example, Activision, even before all of the stuff came out recently, like the state of California lawsuit, Blizzard was already having so many fucking problems, like just as a company, like working. And then Activision, like Activision is literally like Call of Duty. Like, Activision doesn't make anything else now.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't need
crazy.
to.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Make enough money just from that, yeah.
Yeah. I was talking with a friend the other day about Call of Duty when, like, all the Vanguard stuff started coming out. I was like, it's wild to me that Call of Duty is still annualized. Like, nothing else other than sports games really are anymore. Like, Assassin's Creed was for a while. I think Battlefield might have been for a bit, or at least they tried to. Not for long, I don't think. But, like, that felt like a thing where there were a lot of franchises that were, like, annualizing, trying to get it out, like, every year, like, as fast as possible. And now it's, like, just Call of Duty. Everybody else is like, no, we understand video games are insane and magic that any of them ever come out. So especially we just make them and put them out when they're
games,
done. Yeah.
Like the increase in price for, like, next gen, like PS5 and Series X games, that it doesn't make like a ton of sense, because then people are just gonna be like, no, I'm just gonna pass on this one. I haven't played a Call of Duty in forever.
The problem is they're not going to stop doing that, because one, they have like pretty much, you know, moved all of their studios to working on Call of Duty. Like Cold War had like fucking 10 fucking studios on it, like in the logo or like in the intro. It's like Sledgehammer, Raven, then like High Moon or whatever, the ones that used to work on Destiny, like a bunch of different studios, and then Treyarch. Like, it's everyone, and it's because they can really that's the only way they can get it done. And even then, the thing is they're not going to stop doing it because it keeps selling. Like, Cold War is still sold a shit ton of copies, and like,
stop buying Call of Duty. Play better games. There are better games out there. Call of Duty has been out forever. It hasn't evolved that much.
My problem with Call of Duty is the fact that the main way it suffers when it comes out each year so far, at least over the last 2 years, like Modern Warfare and Cold War, when they have come out, they've been good. Like, the gameplay feels still great. The content is still really good, but it's broken as fuck. Like, especially like Black Ops 4 and Cold War are broken. Like, they have enough time to basically like make the shit, but not enough for QA at all. Like, and I bought Cold War like 6-8 months after it came out. It's still broken. Like, I can't imagine what it was like when it first
Because
came
they're not
out.
going to care because then they're going to the next one.
Yeah, they move on to the next one. Like, people play it enough in its broken
But like,
state.
how much
and
can
they
you
move on to
do?
the next one.
How much can you like play the same fucking war game like over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's just like, oh, it's just a different war, but it's painted this like it's the same game, but we just painted it a different war, and I'm just like, I don't know how people eat this up. This is the same with like.
I mean, that's fair.
It's
the only reason I ever buy Call of Duty is because I like how it feels. And there are other games that feel good. There are other shooters that feel good, but there's nothing that still feels like that. But it's alright.
I argue that
still
like,
needs work.
I would say that Bungie, like Destiny, feels better.
See, I don't know where I stand on that
different.
because Destiny does feel really, really good, but I don't know if I'd say better or worse because it's like they both feel like I really love how Call of Duty feels, but I also really love how Destiny feels. So I don't know, but they're different. But I will
whenever I watch Call of Duty, it's just like it's always just an AR, and you're just like, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And then like you run around a corner and you're dead. You run around another corner dead, and it's just like.
I mean, I bought it this
just
last time because I wanted to play zombies,
look.
but and I played very little of the multiplayer in Cold War. But the bit I played of it was still like, this is really good, but it is still Call of Duty multiplayer. It's what it is. There are definitely changes, but like. There are changes for people who play the game every year where it's like, oh, this time to kill is slightly different on this gun, and this gun looks visually... like, it's very minute things for people who play the game. But if you don't, it's Call of Duty.
It's the same, like I was talking with Busy yesterday, and I was saying about... And I know this is probably going to sound like heresy, but like, Master Chief is boring. As a character, you know, at the very beginning of Halo, yeah, it was cool. He was this, but it's just like it's almost been 20 years or whatever, and it's just like he's just the same like monotone dude that's just like, okay,
bro, you can't diss on his voice though. You can diss on
like
Master Chief, that's
he's
fine.
well acted, but I'm just saying the character's fucking
so
boring.
Cool.
The character's boring as fuck, and it's just like, and he's just like always,
I need a weapon.
and the game hasn't, or I guess like the story aspect hasn't like evolved into something kind of new. It's just the same,
but
they've tried, but like they're not. That's the thing, is I don't think a lot of game companies take risks anymore because games are so expensive to make, and so it is just like it's safer just to double down. Double down on like what they know and what they know will sell, instead of like taking the risk that like might elevate the game, but it also could like shoot it in the foot.
That is true, and I definitely agree with that. But like certain franchises, honestly, try. Like I have, I brought this up a while back when I was talking with a friend. But like Halo is one of the franchises that, at least gameplay wise, has like Dragons was talking about how like it hasn't evolved and it's changed. Combat evolved. How it's like stayed the same for 20 years or whatever. And I was like, but dude, they tried and people hated it. Like Halo's one of those
doesn't mean
where
you
they
stop
have literally
trying.
Well, the people hated it and specifically said, we don't want this new mechanic. We want it to be like in the past. And so they did that. And now
that's
people
the problem.
like it.
It's like you can't.
It's kind of hard to.
You can only take because like I don't know. You have to keep trying to change the game, either new modes or new something to evolve it, instead of just like being the same like 6v6 team deathmatch. And it's just like, I've been playing the same team deathmatch for 20 years. With the same guns, like they got the same guns that were in Halo 1. It's just like, no, I don't know. That's
the community and the fan base of Halo want that. And whenever they try to add new shit,
it's the nostalgia. Like it's the nostalgia. They'll want it,
but then
and then they'll bounce. Then they'll bounce to something. I can guarantee you that Infinite's not going to be on the top streamed games of Twitch. Maybe for the first week, and then it's going to be gone. Because people want something new.
That doesn't mean it's going to be a failure, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's still going to have its fan base and it's still going to succeed in its own right. But it's not going to be...
It's not going to be...
League of Legends. It's not going to be...
No, but it's not even going to be
Warzone.
Destiny. Like, it's not even going to be Destiny.
Sure. But
Destiny
I will
is
say,
Halo
took a
evolved.
yeah. I mean,
it is
it's
literally
Bungie, you know?
Yeah, but it literally
went
took
there.
like the concept of the concept of Halo and evolved it to a new type of game with the same shooting and like same kind of feel, but they evolve. And then even in Destiny, they evolve it with new modes and new things and all of that kind of stuff. But if your game doesn't do that, it is just like the same. Like you're gonna play it for the campaign, or I guess they play it for the free to play because it's just the free to play multiplayer, which you're probably gonna get cheaters because that's just everywhere now. It's gonna be, I don't know.
I'm trying to think if they've discussed anti-cheat or anything like that yet. I don't know if they have. They probably have. I have a friend, Eric, who is super excited for Infinite. Like, we got him to play, he probably knows about that, but we got him to play Splitgate, and he kept being like, I don't like that there's no grenade. Why isn't there a grenade? And we're like, it's not Halo. It's a different game. He's like, but why isn't it? Because it's a different game. But speaking
I'll say
of
people
Destiny,
will be playing it. People will play Infinite for like half a month. I'll give it half a month.
Honestly,
15 days, and then everybody's gonna be gone.
That's fair.
Just
I will be playing it for longer, but I'm the person who
I
played
doubt
Halo
it.
5 for 3 years past its launch.
I doubt it because
Probably
there's like way too much stuff around it as well.
Well, Halo 5 was my go-to like competitive shooter for a long time. But that was like before Rogue Company came out. And honestly, Rogue Company is now, if I want a competitive thing or a shooter, I just go there. So it's like, I don't know how well Infinite's going to hold it for me specifically, but I do want to talk about Destiny. Not right now, though. I want to save that for a bit because we haven't like done anything in like 2-3 weeks, and there's been a lot of shit. And I feel like I want to I want to think what has happened over the last 2 weeks. Like Gamescom, for example, happened.
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen everything, but I've seen a few things. Like Horizon has a new release date that we all figured was gonna come out in 2022, and now it's officially confirmed.
That is now on
It's
my.
in, like, February.
That'll be on my backlog because it's literally 4 days before.
Oh fuck! I didn't even realize that. Yeah. Oh damn.
So not playing that.
Yeah, no.
Not playing that at all.
Yeah. Honestly, okay. So real talk. I want to be. You're gonna tell me that I'm not gonna play it. Sure, whatever.
You're not.
But I really want to. When Witch Queen comes out, I want to actually play it when other people are playing it instead of playing it for a week, getting distracted for the next 4 months, and then coming back being like, "Oh, let's check out this Witch Queen thing." I want to play it like when it actually comes out because Shadowkeep and Beyond Light, I did exactly that. Like Shadowkeep came out, played it for like a week. And then, but to be fair, it did come out in the fall. And then I got distracted with other games. And then I came back in like February, like 4 months later. And I was like, all right, now let's play. But I want to actually play it. And honestly, I will say, I think I probably will because I tweeted a couple of things about Destiny over the last couple of days. All of which good, at least for me personally. One of which being like, I've been having a lot of fun with Destiny. And I'm actually in a really good place in life with like my job and free time and whatnot, where I actually can play and like keep relatively up to date. And it's like, it feels great. It's nice to like have a good balanced thing and actually be able to play. And then another was me talking about how I actually really did enjoy the seasonal model last season when I played. I really liked it. So, I think I will, but I want to specifically maybe I'll take like PTO for a couple of days and like be like, you're playing fucking Witch Queen, Teddy.
I'm taking 2 weeks off.
Damn, I fucking can't earn that much. God damn. I'm also taking PTO to visit my family like later in like early December.
I get 3 weeks a year, so I'm just gonna roll over.
Oh, that's
I'm rolling over a bunch.
Damn.
So
we earn it like hourly. So like when I work, I think it's like for an 8-hour shift, I earn basically like 27 minutes. So it's like takes a couple weeks I think it takes literally like a couple weeks to get a day or something like that. But it's not terrible because then I can you can use it the day before. Like you want to you need to like take off. So, and I have never had it be rejected. It's always just like, you're approved. So I'm like, if I have a day and sometimes there's something coming up the next day, I'll just ask off. I was like, all right. So yeah, maybe I'll do that for Witch Queen. But I'm trying to think. I also saw Suicide Squad. I saw that last time we talked about your thoughts on it.
Good movie.
It's so good. It was great.
Good.
It was fucking great. I loved it.
It's too bad that that's not going to be like
It's
the
so
start of the DCEU, like or like that's kind of just like the like they wanted fucking edgy. Well, they wanted edgy with Batman v Superman, and they wanted this dark and like real, and it's like that's fucking edgy and real and in a comical way, but it still is a great like villain because it wasn't like. It was a weird villain, and then especially at the very end, yeah, like it's very. But I don't know, like if they just took that tone, and then like evolved that tone into the other movies, I would be totally down with the DCEU.
Yeah,
But they're all gonna feel so different.
At this point, there's been a few different movies where it's like, could have been a good starting point right here. but no, fucking, it's too late. It's too late.
Then we got we got a one-off. We got a Batman movie coming out eventually. We got Aquaman 2, but they're not related. They're not in the same universe.
Speaking of DC, one of the things I want to talk about, Titans season 3 came out. I think the first 4 episodes. What?
I've stopped watching. All right, like I didn't watch season 3, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna.
That's all right. That's completely fair, honestly. But like, I will say, I wasn't really like looking forward to it because it's been like a year and a half since I saw season 2, so I honestly kind of forgot a lot of stuff. But I watched episode 1, and I will not say any sort of spoiler thing just in case. But I will say that right from episode 1 of season 3, I was like, oh my god, they're doing really cool shit with like Batman lore, like right off the bat, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And episode 3, I will say, ends in a way. I'll probably tell you this later of how exactly it ends, but it ends in a way where like in any other CW DC show or some garbage, like in any other show that I normally watch, I like. She basically like did a thing where he's like, oh, you set off the detonator or whatever the fuck, right? And in any other show, and that's what I'm used to, the person would be fine. So I straight up was just like, oh, it'll be all right. Like I had zero worry. I was like, oh, it'll be cool. Like fucking the person's gonna get to him in time. They're gonna cut over to the other screen. It's gonna, 0 seconds. Oh, I diffused it. And then, like, it got some fucking explosion. And I was like, what? I was so confused for a bit because I was like, did they actually just do that? And they did. So I think that's really cool. The boys. Yeah, a little bit. But
boys.
It's cool, and I like it. It still does have issues, though, where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, some of the dialogue, sometimes I'm like, what? But it's just a bummer that, like, as I'm watching Titans, especially the first episode of season 3, I always forget how much of a DC and specifically, like, Batman fan I am until I watch it, and they, like... They do shit with Jason Todd, then they like mention Tim Drake, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna do the fucking thing with the and I was like, I forget how much I actually like this shit. And it's a bummer that there's not something like if I was like that with Marvel shit before the Marvel movies, I would have lost my goddamn mind in the theaters. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I was when they showed Thanos or they showed the Captain Marvel beeper icon, and everybody in the theaters like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, holy shit, it's Captain Marvel. I'm like, we didn't know that was the first time they kept that under wraps.
Yeah,
like we didn't know Captain Marvel was gonna be in the MCU. We didn't know who was gonna play her.
Yeah.
At the end of what was it, Infinity War, that was a total secret, and like that's the shit that's like so good. Yeah. Speaking of like secrets that are so good that they should keep most secrets out of trailers, There's the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, or No Way Home. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that fucking naming convention. It is
Fuck
so dumb.
Home.
It's just like Far From Home. No, Homecoming.
It's
He's coming
Homecoming,
home. It's just
Far
like
From Home, and then No Way
go
Home.
homeward bound.
Stay
It's
at
just
home.
like, why?
Quarantine.
Why did you? Dumb. So dumb. Whoever came up with that naming convention, you're dumb. I don't care. Like, it's so bad.
I don't think
It's
they planned
bad.
it originally. I think Homecoming.
No, they did because
Did they?
because it's in like the contract that like home has to be in the third. Was in I remember
Why?
that.
That's so weird.
So dumb.
That's so weird. Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, it's just so bad. Anyways, the trailer, it was a good trailer.
I
wasn't-
really like the trailer. I will like
It was
as
a
a
good-
trailer in and of itself. It was fucking awesome. I've rewatched it like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah,
It was a good
it's
trailer,
really
but I'm
good.
still just like, it's very weird. I don't know how I feel about them showing some of the stuff that they show. They have to hype up the movie, yes. But to show some of that stuff, I don't know. It's tough because, like, okay, now we know Doc Ock. We knew he was gonna be in. But
Yeah,
we didn't
he
know
was
at what
confirmed.
capacity.
He's the
We
only
didn't
one
know-
that was officially confirmed.
Jamie
out of,
Foxx is
like, the
too.
rumors. Oh yeah, and Jamie Foxx. Yeah, those two.
Yeah. So, and like everybody's now thinking, like, I saw all the breakdowns where it's like, okay, there's 5 of the Sinister Six, or like they showed like Sandman, or they thought Scorpion as well. Not Scorpion. Lizard is like in
Scorpion
one
was
shot.
at the end of Homecoming. In
Yeah,
the,
him and Vulture.
jail. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they show all that, and so they're like, oh, they're doing the Sinister Six. I honestly don't think that they're doing the Sinister Six because there has been no confirmation of them doing that movie.
Yeah. No.
But
I don't think so either.
But it, like, okay, so I think what I predict is still true, that like Toby and Andrew are still gonna be in the movie because you got Alfred Molina and you got Jamie Foxx, 2 villains from their universes. Well, and then you got the Green Goblin, which I swear he died.
Yeah, I mean he's fucking hell. Well, Doc Ock died at the end of Spider-Man 2 as well.
No, did he?
Yeah.
Did Doc Ock
That's
die?
why
Okay.
everybody there's been theories that it's like they're
Okay.
pulling him out, or like all these people are coming out like before they die, or like
Yeah.
in the middle of the movies or something like that.
Okay, well, then that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, if Willem Dafoe comes back, that's gonna be fucking dope.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
But
That
also
would
at the
be
same time, it's like, okay, so you have Doc Ock and he's like, "Hello, Peter," and then like Tom Holland's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, the cut between that and him on
That's
the car.
not the same. That's not the same.
Yeah, it's either
shot.
not the same scene or like clearly not the first time they had met, because
Yeah.
Peter literally, puts on the thing like, "All right, let's go," instead of
Yeah.
like, "Who the hell are you?" Because that
But
would
yeah,
be
it's
the
gonna be
reaction.
weird. It's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm still more excited for Shang-Chi and Eternals. Eternals and
Those are
Shang-Chi
both
are up
gonna
there
be- oh,
because like Spider-Man.
Man.
I still. Also, so like
so good.
the whole Doctor Strange, like just being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna change time, or we're gonna change how everybody thinks of, or how that everybody knows that you're Spider-Man, and people are like, why would Doctor Strange do that?
I
And
have
then there's a
seen
lot of
that
people
complaint.
saying that that's
But-
not Doctor Strange.
Could be, but also personally, like the end of the first Doctor Strange movie is him breaking all of the rules because of his own pride, and he thinks that he can do it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not too far off character. Like that's literally
Yeah.
the end of him using the time stone, which everyone said not to use the time stone. So it's like, I don't know.
And so I also saw another thread, or just like a prediction. This is from Goth on Twitter, where he remember when Doctor Strange is like there's only one timeline where like
Yeah.
everything works out. That he wasn't talking about them defeating Thanos. It's
Oh
about
my
him
God.
defeating Kang.
No.
And so like this is still he
well,
needed to
I
do
mean,
this.
technically it could, I guess.
It's like, yeah, how far did he see? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually it. That makes way too much weird like sense that he like looked
Yeah.
that far. But I like the whole what was it? Is it Mephisto? Is that the guy's name? That we
Mephisto
thought-
is a Marvel character.
But was that the one that we thought was in WandaVision?
That's the one that a lot of people theorized was going to be there and then wasn't.
Yeah. So like there is like I saw a comic thread. There is an actual storyline where like Mephisto and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are all kind of, I don't really know the logistics of it, but there is something like that. And so it kind of almost makes sense where if Mephisto is posing as Doctor Strange and then you have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I don't know. I like that.
Watching Kind of Funny's reaction to the trailer, Tim said that there is a whole like that the movie is based off of a storyline called like or at least is taking from a storyline that's called like Who's Your Name or What's Your Name. It has something with name in it. And I think Mephisto is in that story the dude who does the spell, whereas Doctor Strange in the movie is the one doing it here. So he was like, I think that's cool that he's like taking that spot, but it could still be, you never know. But yeah, that's the thing. I might try and track that down and read that because I started reading comics again. Let me tell you, they're so good. Why did I wait so long? It's great.
I don't know.
Last night or 2 nights ago, I picked back up my.
You should read a manga because now the anime's pushed till 2022.
I missed that. What? The Attack on Titan manga?
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it. That doesn't surprise me at all.
I saw a tweet and it said like I saw a tweet and it said like see you 2022, something like that.
Attack on Titan second half of season 4. I just Googled. God damn it. That's so annoying. Well,
You gotta read it.
Look. Here's an article on Polygon from 5 days ago that says to premiere in January 2022, which is not that bad because it was already set to premiere in December.
It might get pushed again. You never know.
Honestly.
You should just read it.
Surprise me. No, I waited this long, man. But a couple nights ago, for a while I wasn't reading because I literally lost the charger for my fucking Kindle. I couldn't find it.
Again?
No, it was the same one, but I eventually found it. And now it is all in its little, it has its own little spot for it to charge. So every night I'm going to try and pick it up and read an issue of Invincible. But I started again like 2 nights ago and I ended up reading like 3 issues and it was so good. I was like, Invincible's so good. It's great. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I was trying to think what else. Oh, What If started up in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I only watched the first one.
Oh, okay.
I watched the first one and I was like, this is good, but I'm not like hooked.
Dog, the first one, in my opinion, is the least good. 2 was awesome. And then 3, I was like, God damn, this is great.
I've seen them. But like, it's
tough. The first
because
one was very meh, in my opinion.
It's tough because I also don't know if this like really has any implications in like the whole story. It's like a very
I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, and so it's like
it's just fun.
It's not that I don't care. It's just that I'll get to it when I get to it. It's very hard for like
you don't really need to.
Cartoons, like either cartoons or just animated things to really hook me, especially if they don't have anything connected to like anything else.
And if
I don't
it's
just
week to
watch. Yeah, I don't just usually watch cartoons, especially when they're self-contained stories and stuff like that. But I'll get to it when I get to it.
I will say so far, episode 2 and episode 3 were really fucking good. Like episode 2 was just like a really good 30-minute story. Like I thought it was really well put together. And then episode 3 did a lot of really fun, clever things with Marvel and like previous movies that you don't really like. They do something with like the Incredible Hulk movie. They like kind of go back there in a way, and I was like, oh, it's really cool. Like normally I wouldn't give a shit, but it's kind of fun. So yeah, they're really cool. But I get that they're not.
I'm excited for the Star Wars anime.
Week to week.
That'll be good.
Yup. That looks cool.
I only watched the trailer a little bit because I don't want to see. I saw like just a little bit on Twitter, and then I was like, okay, I'm already in. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Is the Bad Batch done?
I don't know. I haven't seen a single episode.
Yeah, me neither. But I figured at a certain point when it got like 4 episodes, especially when it got like halfway through. I was like,
it's very tough for me to get invested in clones.
Yeah,
it's just tough. They're all the same. Honest, they technically should not have personalities. Like, it was okay in Clone Wars because they still weren't the main focus, but now they're like the main focus. Yeah. And so it's weird.
I mean, their whole thing is that they were like defects. You know, they're not perfect clones. But I just figured
and it's not Republic Commando.
And go through.
It's not Republic Commando, and that game was fucking brilliant. They should remaster or whatever, do whatever they need to do to that. That was perfect. But this isn't that. And I was like, "What? You had the structure for Republic Commando, so good."
That's fair. I mean, I think I remember seeing stuff saying that the Bad Batch like takes a lot of influence from Republic Commando. But I'll watch it eventually. I was just gonna wait until it was all out and then just fucking go through it one week. I haven't really been watching too many things. Let me think. Oh, I will say. One thing that I did watch, Brooklyn Nine-Nine came back, and this is the first time that it has come back since fucking last year, and a lot of shit going down with cops, and the show is about cops. It's tough. So it was, in the first episode, they actually did try to address a lot of that.
Yeah, because like Rosa's gone.
Rosa quit.
She's still on the show.
Yeah, but she's like not on the force anymore. And they did actually try and address that. And I don't know. I personally thought they did an okay job at it, but like
they're never
they're not going to satisfy everybody.
No sitcom's going to nail that because it's not in the tone. Like even before all of COVID, there was an episode with Terry where he got like arrested just for I think like looking for his daughter's like toy on the street, and then like a white cop arrested him because he didn't have his ID and all this stuff. And so they tried and they did a fairly good job, but like it's very hard for a sitcom to nail serious issues because it's not in the tone. But yeah, they do a really good job. They're doing a lot of that. Like I watched, so there's like 6 episodes, and this is the last season. So they're doing a lot of like sentimental tie-up stuff, and like it's pretty good. There are a lot of it's still like it's still so funny.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I think they did a good job of addressing it in the first episode, and then honestly, it's not just that. Like, so far from the first 6 episodes, they are, like, trying to kind of address it throughout the whole season. Like, the
like, it's not just
episode,
like a one-off, and then it's like... And then it's not like they talk about the elephant, and then they're just like, okay, now we just put it back, and now we do the funny stuff. It's like, no, because that's life. It's literally...
Yeah, they're kind of trying to keep it, like, progressing.
It's always there.
Have it be there, but it's such a good fucking show, though. It's so funny. It's one of the funniest fucking, like, comedic shows that I think I've seen, to be honest. I love that show. It's so good. And
they do a lot, which is weird. I don't know that... I guess... Now they do that on cable shows, is that like in this last episode, Jake says something about like, oh, I have this like arch nemesis, Terry. And then Terry's like, he's like, why don't you have an arch nemesis? And he's like, because I close all of my cases.
All my crimes.
Yeah. And then it's just like, there's the pause on Jake's face, pause. And then he's like, he says like, well, that was a fucked up thing to say or something like that. But they bleep out fuck, and they do that a lot in this season. Yeah. And I'm like, I guess that's how they're getting away with these kind of things now.
Yeah, like, it's like, that's a really fucked up thing to say to me, Terry. And then it goes to the intro. It's great.
So
I love
funny,
the openings so much. The Diane yeast infection is my favorite.
The bleeping is just like so new. I didn't know that now sitcoms are doing that. I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Because you can't swear on television, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, most of the time whenever that happens, they save it for, like, the fuck word, you know? They save it for that, and then it's, like, it makes it extra funny to me, honestly.
Even, like, remember when there was one episode and Holt's talking to, like, Dr. Cox? I don't know his name in the show.
I don't remember this.
He's the union guy. He's Dr. Cox.
Okay.
He's Dr. Cox from Scrubs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a big part in this season.
He says something about like he's about to get huffy, and then he like has a whole bunch of expletives that they just bleep out. And
Oh
it's like,
yeah,
it's
I
so
remember
good.
that. He just goes on a whole fucking thing, and Jake's
Yeah.
like, "Usually, are you sure you want to insult him? Because
Yeah.
usually your insults are a little wordy." And then he
And then
just,
they
like
just start
fucking calls him
swearing.
a
Yeah.
cocksucker. Like
So
goes on
good.
this whole thing. It's great. It's so good.
It's a very good.
It's so funny. I love that show. But
show.
legit, my favorite cold open is the Diane yeast infection thing. It's so good. That's my favorite because he says the joke and then it zooms in on his face and Jake's face. And he was like slowly smiling more, and Jake just like is looking at him directly for like 15 seconds. And
They
then
do a
it's
lot
like,
of that whole
because
thing, yeah.
yeast, and then it cuts to the fucking. It's so
No,
good.
the best in my opinion cold open is when they're like, I'm gonna prank Dr. Holt, and they move his what is that fucking thing called? When they move like his podium. The podium they move the podium, and he's like, we move it like an inch, and they're like, no, and he's like half an inch, and they're like, no, he'll know it, and then it's like, okay, like a quarter of an inch, and then they're like, he's not gonna notice that, whatever, and then and then Hulk comes in, and he's just like, he puts his papers down, and he's like, you guys, and he just like starts laughing. He's like, this is hilarious. And
It's great. That's a really good one. I forgot about that
it
one.
is the best one in my opinion.
That one is really good. And then I also love the one where Amy's like coming in late and they all start taking guesses, and Holt's like,
it's
oh,
the
what are
hot
we
damn.
doing? He's like, oh, this sounds fun. I would like to participate. And then the hot damn, it's great. It's so
damn.
good.
Holt's character is just
It's
it's
really
weird
good.
because like in the first, and this is like a lot of, I don't know if it's a lot of sitcoms. I'm trying to think of a sitcom that was like fire from the first season.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think,
It
because like
usually
even
takes
Parks
them
and
a
Rec
while
was
to find their
was
feet.
a rough first season, but like Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nine-Nine, I remember starting Brooklyn Nine-Nine multiple times in the first season, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. Even like Schitt's Creek, first season
Yeah.
of Schitt's Creek, I was like, I don't really get it. And then you just like push a little bit more, and then they finally like grow into their characters.
Yeah.
And they kind of like they risk they like try different things as their characters, and yeah, it's just
I will say, I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for me at least, was honestly one of the funniest from the get-go. Like, I remember watching episode 1 and, like, laughing way more than I normally do at any show. Yeah. And I was like, this is great. I'm having a good time. But yeah, like, especially Holt, it took him a while to really, like, at least season 1, to really, like, get more into
like his character, where because like he's very serious and like monotone, but then he has to like say those very, very funny things. And I don't think he nailed it until like probably season 2.
Yeah.
And then like, because he would say them so dry and monotone, but it would be like the funniest thing, or it's just like, oh, even when he's
It's
like,
great.
remember, there's
Such
one
a
where he's
good
like
show.
texting Jake, and he's like, sincerely, Raymond Holt. And like, you don't need to sign off.
You have
Sincerely,
to
Raymond
do it
Holt.
sincerely every time.
Every time, dear Jake.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
It's a
gonna be
great
sad
show.
when that's over. Because then, like,
I
when you
honestly
think about
didn't
it,
realize it was the last season.
what other sitcoms are there?
I will say, one sitcom that I have now officially decided is bad is the Icarly reboot. It's not good. It's not good. I've given up.
That's not.
It's not good.
This isn't news. If this is like the this isn't news segment, then that's not news.
I thought,
not-
like, okay, so honestly, every episode throughout, like, the first probably 5 episodes, it was, like, weird and fine, but there was always, like, 2 jokes that really got me for some weird reason. And then, in, like, each episode. And then up until, and I kept being like, it'll get better. And it's honestly gotten worse. And I'm like, okay, well, this is...
Just like all the CW stuff, you know, it was bad.
I watched The Flash
you
up
think that
until
it's
season
good.
3, by the way, and I
It's
stopped.
not.
I
It's not.
stopped. And, like, even season 3, man, like, they end with him going into the fucking Speed Force. Like, it's so weird.
Bad. Very bad.
So weird. And then season 4 comes back, and Julian, the guy who had become, like, a main character, he just went back to England. Went back to
know, I
England,
don't
because it's a
remember.
network television show. So, and he
It's
was
bad.
a guest star.
Bad shows are bad.
But I will say, Julian,
No.
the guy who plays him, Draco Malfoy, you know, his actor,
Oh yeah.
is legitimately, after watching season 1, 2, and 3 of Flash, I think one of, if not the best characters in that show. He's a great character. He's written well.
Remember.
Whereas the others are not. He's great. But then they get rid of
DC.
him. So.
That's
Yeah. See, that's my point. Like, if you know, if I got movies and shit built up the way that the MCU did to where, like, I finally saw Dick Grayson in the goddamn Nightwing suit, I'd cry. I would cry in the theater. But we don't get that. It's a bummer. But it's all right. We'll be okay.
So we got good stuff. So we got good Marvel
there's
stuff.
Still
That's
good
all we
superhero
need.
stuff. Speaking of,
also, I forgot that Matt Murdock's in. They didn't show him in the trailer at all. Either.
They did not. See, I was a little hesitant when you were like,
be a little bit crowded of a movie.
Yeah, when you mentioned how they showed a lot of stuff, I was a little hesitant because I was like, honestly, out of all of the rumors, I don't think they showed much at all. if those rumors are true, they were very.
But like Matt Murdock is confirmed.
I think you're right. I don't fully remember, but I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's his, but like not Daredevil, but Matt Murdock is because he's his lawyer.
Yeah.
As
and
being
after watching the trailer, makes a lot more sense. I can totally see that. 100%.
I hope that Peter I hope he's grown up. That's all I hope. I know this is literally like a continuation from like the right get-go. Like it's literally like a day and date continuation. There's no time in between.
When things do that.
I do, but it kind of sucks when you want that character development because it's like he's the same kid, he's the same age, everything is the same. Yeah. And so I hope that there's a little bit of development.
By the end of it, there definitely should be because it seems like he's gonna deal with a lot of fucking consequences.
Or they kill him and then Miles Morales swings in. No, Miles Morales. It's from another universe. Swings in. Now we got Miles instead.
I will say,
he's younger.
Dude, honestly, one of the things that was so fucking cool about the trailer is like it is very clear, at least in my opinion, that they are taking like visual influences from Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude! Like, let's go. It's so awesome.
Well, and
to
Doctor
see.
Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange for sure, but they're combining that in a way that fucking makes sense in the Marvel Universe. Like, there's a shot that looks like the shot from Spider-Verse of Leap of Faith where he jumps down like the upside down thing. There was one like that where the world is like turned. I was like,
there's another train scene in a Spider-Man movie.
The train, like,
the train one.
Good shit. Love it. But
it's gonna be good.
It's
definitely not gonna be my favorite my favorite Marvel movie of the year. I feel the Eternals will be. I just feel it. I feel that Eternals is just gonna be like, holy shit, this stuff is like next level.
Yeah. I hope so. I'm excited. A lot of cool shit. After What If, it's Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, for TV because it goes Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi then probably Hawkeye in October, and then November's Eternals, and then December Spider-Man.
It says Hawkeye is November 24th. So after What If, there's going to be a little bit of a break before that. Yeah. Also, what the fuck? It says here that Miss Marvel is 2021. I don't believe you.
Oh, that's probably pushed now.
Yeah.
Oh no, probably not though, because like they filmed it all. Like I remember seeing like the actress.
If Hawkeye starts November 24th this year and has 6 episodes,
it could be at the end of December.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be like the very end.
With this Disney Plus stuff, they don't really need like a good time. A good time is whenever they release it. Like it doesn't have to be like a special date.
Yeah, but you're not going to release multiple at the same time, and that would. I'm pretty sure.
No, but I mean like
it would have to be
at the end of December.
November 24th this year is Wednesday. Let's say Hawkeye goes 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's December 29th. Hawkeye would end on December 29th. So Miss Marvel would have to be either that same day or like the Friday instead for it to still be 2021. It's probably going to be January.
I don't put it past them. They could do it on Wednesday and Friday. Like,
it's true.
Disney can release the shit whenever it's ready, and then that's when we watch it. They haven't done
anything like that yet, but they could. They have all the fucking power to. Yeah. It's all up to them. Speaking of Marvel stuff, I went through all of the Avengers story on PS5 and the Hawkeye stuff and the other Hawkeye stuff and Black Panther. And then I was like, okay, cool. Now I get to do like, in-game stuff. And then I was like, where the fuck do I go and what do I do? And then I was like, I'm good.
Then you uninstall.
I'm good.
I tried that Black Panther stuff.
Good for me.
I cannot get over how not good the game feels, at least on mouse and keyboard. And
I
like,
can't imagine, honestly. It feels made
it
for
is
controller.
so, but it's just like, I could barely get past like the first part of that mission. I don't know if I was on like a hard difficulty or something with Black Panther, but so many things I just did not like. It looks great. I love the look of it. It looks
Visually,
amazing.
it does look very good.
But it's just like you lock on. I was like trying to like fight one dude with Black Panther, and then another dude like came close, and then my attacks locked onto that guy, and I'm like, what are you doing? It was so
that's not what a lock on is.
And it's just so tough. Like this was like at the end of like a long stream, and I played like Destiny and then Dark Souls 3, and then I ended with that. And it's like coming from two games that are very like feel very good, great, polished, and it's just like you could be playing them for hours and they still feel so good, to then this where it's just like, I don't know, it just does not feel good. So and it
sucks. I really like, honestly, I thought the gameplay feels really good, and I thought Black Panther himself felt good, but like there's still so much annoying shit about that combat. It's so weird. Like it's
so random. There's a lot of randomness where it's like you get hit by something, and I'm like, I'm pretty alert when I play games, and I'm like, I didn't know something was behind, or like
it's just like all of a sudden sometimes everything will attack you at one fucking time. And you get hit by one thing and get knocked back, and then basically get stampeded until you're dead. Because you can't move. Because you're just in a knockback animation. And then you're like dead. And you're like, okay.
It's not like you're invincible in the knockback animation, and then you can like try to recover.
And then you can't get out of it. So you just keep taking damage until you're dead.
And that's not a good, I'm sorry, that's not a good, that's not, and I know I'm not a game designer, but that's not good game design. Where it's like, if you have something where you get knocked back, like literally think of old school Mario, you get hit and Mario becomes small Mario. Yeah. And there's like a second, maybe 1.5 seconds where you're invincible. You get knocked back and you're invincible. But yes, you're not big Mario. Yeah. But like that kind of stuff, that's good game design, because like think if you weren't invincible when you got knocked back and something else hit you, then you're just dead. And
but you couldn't control your character while you got knocked back for that 5 seconds. Like it's
like you
dumb.
Get knocked back is
so weird.
Honestly, if you were invincible when you got knocked back in Avengers,
until you came back up, like, and then you're fine. Like that'd be
then
great.
You could like roll out of the way and then like recover and like regroup and be like, okay, I need to do something different. But it's just.
I tweeted about that, and somebody on Twitter was talking about how one of their big complaints when the game first came out was like, if you're in the air as Iron Man or Thor or somebody who flies, and you get hit by like one projectile, you just fall to the ground. And I was like, I'm complaining about the knockback being on the ground, I can't imagine in the sky. Holy shit, sounds awful. Like, and
I don't
they
like
had
the roll
in the Black Panther.
I think
expansion,
the roll, a little bit more. Like a little bit more of a distance, or a little bit faster. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but something feels off with it.
Good. But I will say, as you start going, like there is shit about the combat that starts to get satisfying, and like every character does play a little bit differently, and you do have to like once you start unlocking shit, like for Black Panther, parrying is actually really useful because you build up your intrinsic thing, and then you can do like a big blast, and then you can also make your finishers more stronger. Like there is weirdly depth to the combat in that game, but there's also so much weird bad shit that I'm like, but I don't want like once I finished the story, I actually honestly did have a good time throughout the story, and then once I finished it, then I'm like, all right, cool, now I have like the freedom to do whatever. What do I do? And I started Googling, and I couldn't really find the answer. So what I did was I went to my objective screen, and there was one that was like Black Panther heroic mission chain, right? Like you unlock an outfit. And I went to that, and I was like, one of the first ones that I was like, oh, this will be easy. It was like complete 5 war zones in the Wakanda region. I go to the war table, I open up the Wakanda region. There's not a war zone. Like, I don't have a war zone. So I was like, okay, guess
the war table is such a bad, like, that's another thing that's just like
it's
bad
very
design.
old design. It's Destiny 1. It's orbit. It's having to go to orbit. Like,
pretty much, yeah.
It's so weird. But then Destiny 2, the whole thing, you don't have to do that. So now it's like they're behind already.
But it's not even that, because like it's a live table as well. Like it refreshes with certain things, I remember. And I'm like, but what is it refreshing? I don't see any changes. I remember when it was like refreshing, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I would look at the table and I'm like, everything looks the same. What did it refresh?
Yeah, it's probably small stuff like modifiers or something. It's a bummer though, because I really did enjoy like playing through the story stuff. I really liked it, and the more I played certain heroes and the more skills I unlocked, the more I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, if there was a decent loop to level up your character, and like if it was clear as to what to do, I would absolutely like spend a Sunday. Like I said, I thought it'd be really fun to like spend a Sunday, watch Endgame on one monitor, and just level up my Thor. It'd be cool. But then it was like, when I got there, I was like, I don't know how to do that. So it got me then craving an actual good Endgame loop. So I went and played Destiny and had fun.
I'm trying to think, like, it would be cool if they did Avengers like Borderlands. Because it was like a very good story, and then you can just like replay the story with another character. But I don't know how that would really work. But I mean, like something like that kind of loop where you could like that kind of open world where it is, because like Borderlands isn't really like a Destiny. Like it's not a shared experience, but it is like people still play Borderlands 3 and like they're farming weapons and they're farming stuff and they're doing big things, and it's still like a live game, but it's a different live game. And I feel that Avengers would have been better as that, where like you could pick your hero, play the story with that hero, and like your hero would be in like a cutscene and like your Black Panther or whatever, and then because something like that I think would have been better than this kind of thing.
It's just a bummer because honestly, playing through the story, I had fun, and the combat does have a lot more depth than I thought it would, and it is a bummer playing it and getting to the end game, because then it is like, I mean, I could see what you could do with this. Like, there is potential here that they're just not fully going to capitalize on. And not because I don't think they want to, just because I think in order to really reach its full potential, it needs a lot of resources.
It needs a realm reborn.
Yeah, it needs a lot of resources. And I don't think that... I'm honestly surprised Square Enix has let them continue to this point, but I don't think they're going to get what they need to really...
I'm wondering, like, if it's like a test, like
the expansions are free.
They're testing it. Yeah, they're testing this because now we have Guardians in like a month or two, which is literally just a story campaign. Yeah, just a single player game. And I'm wondering if they're like kind of testing the waters to see like what is more viable and maybe what makes more money. I don't know how is Avengers like making money still? Like, are people buying skins?
It either must be, because it's still, they just
there's still no Spider-Man for PlayStation.
Dude, that's a whole nother thing.
Hilarious.
I can't believe
people
that's
were like,
not out yet.
People were like, oh my god, I need to get the console version because I gotta play my boy Spider-Man. And I'm like, good luck, maybe in 2022. And that was last year when they announced this game. And
it's a bummer. Like, I don't know. It has potential. I'll definitely still keep an eye on it, and if they do release other story stuff, I probably will hop in and finish it, because there's no gear requirement. Like, if it's a character, they start you at 0. It took me maybe 4 hours-ish, I think, for Black Panther. It was fun. So I'll probably do that in the future, but I did have fun going through. I'm trying to think, what else have I played in the last fucking 2-3 weeks? Hop back into Destiny, new season so far. Enjoying it. Yeah. That's all. Just having a good time. The Splitgate, I will say, super fucking fun. Playing a lot of Splitgate. I wasn't like super excited to get back into that game because it had like a big popularity surge recently. And I played that game back when it was in like closed alpha, like when I was in college, like 2 or 3 years ago. So I did not, and I remember specifically thinking it's a cool idea, but like mechanically, the guns just, it didn't feel great to shoot. So I was like, I'll pass. But then everyone told me that like now and I hopped in and I was like, oh yeah, now it feels great. Like it feels really good. So they must have done a lot of work on like the mechanics because it feels really good. I've had so much fun with that. Like when you pull off a really cool, portal play where you shoot and then you like either shoot through the portal or enemy portals, you can't see through them. So the only thing that tells you that somebody's there is like your reticle changes red if your reticle is over an enemy. So like if you get like a snipe through an enemy portal, it feels so good. Like it's great. And I will say their competitive mode, Takedown, is kind of like comparing it to Elimination. It's 3v3. You can't like revive your friends, but the way that it's different is that it is round based, but also like instead of just having one life on each team for like each person, you have respawns, but as you die, as your team dies, the more your team dies, the death timer goes up. So it gets higher. So like you can win right off the bat if you fucking team wipe like instantly. But you have to kill all three of them like at the same time. But usually then it goes and goes. So you're like keeping an eye on the bottom to see like, okay, there's two up. Oh, one just came back. Like, and it gets more and more hectic to where like the more like the later in the round it gets, if you get a kill, it means a lot more because you're like, oh shit, they're down for 15 seconds. Like push on the two. Like I think it's a really good kind of like evolution of a like elimination or mode like that. So that it's really fun. And other than that, not really playing too much. I have played a lot in the last 3 weeks, honestly. But
I just played a lot of Genshin.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah!
Or 2.0 is coming.
There is cross save apparently on PlayStation PC now, or at least going to be. I don't know if that's out. I think it is.
Yeah, because I played on my because I brought my PlayStation on vacation, and so I played on that.
Nice.
So I'm getting ready for the new season, or not new season, I guess the new expansion, which is like 2.0. It'll be one year of Genshin, so that's going to be exciting.
That's awesome. I should go back to that.
I played, what is it? Tsushima, not the new stuff, because I'm still in it.
Just
but
back to it.
It took them a year and like a month.
There's a lock on.
But not even just a lock on. You can switch your inputs. There's a toggle. You can use the triggers, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is. I don't need a lock on now, but it's just like it is so much better.
Hell yeah.
Like it's such a small change, and I'm like, guys, you should have put that in the game from the beginning. Like, come on.
Having the option is always preferred to like.
That's
change
not
things,
that's not. And I'm sorry. I know that's not like a hard thing to put in the game. It's literally just inputs that you can just swap out.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you should have from the get go, like almost every case, because it's options. Like if people want to be able to do something, they can.
And it's like it's accessibility. Like if you want, that should be in every game. Honestly, I think that like inputs in for every single button should be in every game. I don't know how hard that is, but like that's accessibility as well. But it made it just so much more enjoyable to play.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Because you can turn that camera and hit at the same time, and it's just you don't have to do a weird ass claw that people are like, oh, don't you play claw? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna ruin my hands playing a video game.
No one should play claw in the year of our Lord 2021.
No.
Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, so I don't have the PS5 version. I still don't know how to like upgrade. So like you just upgrade.
It's $30, and but to be fair,
but that's just the upgrade. That's not the DLC.
It is. It comes with both.
Okay.
But I don't know if there is a way to get. I think there is a way to get the PlayStation 5 upgrades without getting the DLC. But I didn't.
Well, I'm eventually
going to
get the deals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
eventually
got the
gonna get it.
$30 director's cut upgrade. Yeah.
I'll get to that soon. I also have some credit for my birthday. I'm gonna spend either on Returnal or Ratchet. Still don't know. It's still up in the air.
Vote in the comments down below. I will say on August 24th, I think, was when the director's cut came out. And I kept telling my friend Friday, because I wanted to get him into Legends, that because they mentioned that they were selling Legends separate standalone. So I was like, oh, that's going to happen on the 24th. We can get in there. It turns out like literally all of the fucking Legends changes is on September 3rd. So I'm like, oh, okay, well.
That's weird.
We'll have to wait. So next weekend, there's going to be the new Rivals mode, and then there's going to be buying it separately. Eventually, I think over the next 3 weeks after September 3rd, they're releasing, they said that every week they're releasing new shit. So it's going to be like a new Rivals map, a new survival map, I think. And then I think they said it was a new difficulty for the raid. And I was like, oh, shit, cool. So, yeah, once September 3rd rolls around, I do want to play.
But 3 weeks from now,
Legends.
no other game because it's Deathloop time.
Oh, yeah, that is close.
That's it.
That is close.
It's
I started
on.
seeing previews, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's happening soon.
There's that and Dying Light 2. Those are the only two games that I'm like.
Dying Light 2 coming out soon?
No, it's December.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
But still, like this year, those are like the only two games that I'm like 100% playing those day one. Maybe even taking time off.
I wasn't really going to get Deathloop, but I will say, like, over the last couple of weeks, I've just had so much fucking fun playing video games. Like, every game I played, I'm like, I'm having a blast right now. So, like, I think I might get Deathloop and have a good time.
They're so good.
So I was talking with my girlfriend about how many video games I have bought and not played. It's a lot. And then I was like,
that's every gamer.
I know, but I was like,
everyone.
And also, what's even worse is what I call my sequel backlog, where I have bought games, played through all of them in the series in preparation for a game coming out, and then the game came out and I didn't play it. Those are my worst ones. Like Gears of War, for example. I played Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment all in one summer leading up to Gears of War 4. And then Gears 4 came out, and I never touched it. Yeah. I've done that with multiple things. And Dishonored is one of those. I played Dishonored up until Dishonored 2's release, and then Dishonored 2 came out, and I bought it, and I never touched it.
Dishonored 2 in my top 5. It's in my top 5 video games of all time.
I wonder if
probably
there
like
is
my.
I wonder if there's a. I wonder if it's backwards compat 60 FPS on PS5, because I bought it on PS4, I think. If not, though, it might be on PC Game Pass, because Bethesda.
It was.
Oh.
I don't think it is anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember seeing it go away, or maybe that was Prey. I'm not sure. It was one of the two.
That's weird because they own Bethesda. Just keep your shit on there. It's basically a first party game at this point.
But yeah, that's like one of my favorite games. I've played that multiple times. Platinumed it when I was into platinums on a controller. By the way, that game where you have to play the game and not kill a single person, not be seen crazy. the whole game. You cannot be seen. There's a no kill. Yeah, you have to do a no kill run. Because that's a challenge, and it's like that's cool to have these kind of. It's such a good game. And that's why like Deathloop is gonna be like Prey was good because Prey came after Dishonored 2. It was good. It wasn't as it's not my favorite, even though I love space, but like I don't know why I liked it less than Dishonored 2. But
I mean, I heard
Deathloop
it was
looks right.
Nah. So
yeah.
it was a fun definitely story. Didn't get as high reviews as Dishonored 2.
No.
So.
It also they come out at weird times. Like I think Prey came out in like April. I can't remember Dishonored.
Prey came out at some sort of weird time.
Yeah. But Deathloop, I think everybody's excited for it, so I'm hella excited for it.
I listened to a whole preview about it, and they were pretty glowing. They said that the whole idea behind it is really cool, but I was always like, it's very easy to fuck that up. Like,
Yeah.
Not even fuck it up, but it could just be mediocre. But from
Like
everything
Watch
that
Dogs
they
Legion.
you know,
Cool on paper. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, that's really cool. You play and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is not cool.
yeah, and everything that they said on that preview for Deathloop sounded like they're kind of nailing what they're going for with the loop. So. And honestly, if any developer is going to go for that idea and have it do well, it would be Arcane, because Arcane is known for good level design. And you have to have really fucking good level design in order to pull off like a Groundhog Day where you have to line up all the dudes. Like
two levels in
They're the ones.
Dishonored 2. One is like a house that you can like, it's like not a house, it's like a mansion.
Clockwork
like,
Mansion. Or
yeah, the clock.
Like
that is the
that's what everybody talks
most
about.
insane like level design to be able to like pull some stuff off. And then there's another one where later on you get like a sort of item that you can like see. I think you see like the past, and then you can, so like it's like your hand, and you can like see the past, and then you can like jump. So like you can like jump into the past, and then you're in the past, and then you can see the present. So then you have to like get around like enemies and stuff using that.
That's wild. That sounds
So it's the same. It's the same house. I know
that
sounds like
that
Titanfall.
sounds like what people really loved about that level in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's
the
really,
Dishonored
really
2 had
fun.
something like that. That's
And the other thing is like, okay, when you have, and this is why I love Dishonored 2, when you have a game that has two protagonists and you can choose which one.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, it's like literally just a skin change and a voice change, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're playing the same game, and these characters just have different voice lines, and it's like that means nothing. But both Corbin, is it Corvus? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's Corvus.
Sounds right.
Corvus and Emily, they're both very, like, they have different powers, and to play them, you play so much differently than each other, and like it makes different playthroughs so much more fun.
Yeah.
And so I need to get into Deathloop and mess around and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Games I'm looking forward to, fucking also Dishonored 2 is on Game Pass.
There you go.
It absolutely is. I will install it because
You're not gonna play it.
No. But if I was going to play it on anything, it'd be PC. But the games that are coming out soon that I'm looking forward to, Kena Bridge of Spirits is coming out at the end of September-ish. I have that on my calendar. And New World is also coming out at the end of September, so I'm going to play that as well. Those are the two that I'm looking forward to. Riders Republic has an open beta, and I wish I had time to play a little bit more before we recorded today, but I only played through like the opening section where you go through like you do like a little tutorial of like the biking, the snowboarding, and the rocket jet thing. I will say right off the bat, I was like, don't like how this controls. And that's kind of the whole thing. That's kind of the whole.
There's nothing else in that game.
It's
There's no
arcadey,
story.
it just has to feel good, and they didn't nail it. And I was like, yikes, yikes.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
You hate to see
But
it.
those are kind of the games I'm looking forward to at the moment. I'm just
really
having a
just
lot of
looking
fun
forward
playing
to-
video games lately. After we get off here, I'm gonna sit down and grind Destiny 2 for a little bit, which is gonna be fun.
That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. That's
Destiny-
like is
Deathloop-
Witch Queen. Witch Queen.
Oh, Witch
Holy
Queen.
shit.
Oh, that reveal.
just
We haven't
take
even
me
talked about
away.
that. We can talk a little bit about Destiny, and then we should get
Take
out of
me
here
away.
because we're getting into it. But I really like the reveal. It's on Twitch if you want. I reacted to it if you want to find it on VODs. I didn't put it on YouTube this time, but the one thing I did clip out and I put it on TikTok was when they showed off like the 30th anniversary stuff, and they were like, they straight up the dude was like, oh, and Gallahorn's making its return in Destiny 2, and my reaction, like, I watched it back and genuinely I was like, no, it's not. No, you're lying. You're lying to me right now. Like, I don't believe you. And then eventually the girl was like, we've carefully tuned Gallahorn to the Destiny 2 sandbox. And I was like, wait, are you serious? Like, I don't know why. I genuinely thought they were like fucking with me. And then I was like, wait, this is a real thing? So that's kind of cool. I am excited about the 30th anniversary stuff too. I think that's going to be fun. A fun little event.
I think there's stuff there
content.
that is not in there.
Stuff there that is not in there. Like secret stuff, you think? I think so too. I think so.
Because so we all know there was a leak of information. I of course read it because I just needed to know. A lot of this stuff,
I have
pretty
been
much
told
100%.
some things.
100% of the stuff. 100% of the stuff that I think that was in there, that was in the reveal, was in that leak, and like dot for dot, where it was like Savathun is getting us to kill her worm, which is what we're doing in this season.
Yeah.
Osiris, not Osiris, in this season. And then it showed that Savathun gets the light, and then we get light touched hive that can revive themselves and do all this stuff. So all that stuff is true. So there is a bunch of stuff that they didn't show that in the leaks, especially about the 30th, that
really interesting.
That they haven't talked about. And I don't know if it's like if they can data mine it or not, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's really cool that if it comes true, which I think it should come true. I can say like after, because I don't want to spoil anybody else, but like I can say after. Interesting. But it's gonna be an interesting.
That'd be fun.
6 months.
I will say
like,
once they showed off like the date and whatnot, I realized I was like, oh fuck, this is our season till February. And my friend Dragons was like, didn't they do that last time? And I looked it up, and last time it was extended, but it was about 5 months. And then later I had completely forgot. I was like, oh wait, the 30th anniversary thing though is in like December. So that's gonna honestly be a pretty good, like, you know.
It's not gonna be like story stuff, but there's a new 6-man activity.
Yeah, like
there's a new dungeon. Awesome. The dungeon is like tied
totally
to the 30th.
Well paced, honestly. Like I'm alright.
We also have Festival of the Lost. We also have Dawning. Yeah. So
it'll be
hopefully
fun.
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But also, you know, it's okay to like get done with the stuff in Destiny and then play other games.
Yep. So if you guys want to see the full thing, I won't go on a rant here. I put it on Twitter, but I'm just actually really liking the seasonal model, specifically for story stuff.
You're the only one.
I know. But like specifically for story stuff, mostly. I like the gameplay better. Stuff, but yeah.
It could be told better, like
fair.
Stretched out every week. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't have before last season. But then like once last season ended, I played like the epilogue where, you know, you go do the last override in that area, and you'll learn that a certain person fucking dead. I was like after that finished, and you get like the whole cutscene of them like fighting together. It's like I was like, I am so much more invested in this right now than if I had played that through in like 2 weeks. Oh, maybe like a week or 2 weeks.
It's tough to say though. It's tough to say, but also like any other fucking expansion, I was not invested like that. I was invested because I made. But the story is, but the thing is, the story is good. That's the difference between you go through Shadowkeep, the Shadowkeep story that you blow through.
Who cares?
That's not a great story. Even if they pace that out over weeks, that's not a good story. This is a good story. Yeah. And like if you can do it all if you wait like 8 weeks or whatever, you can like do it all at once. But like it's because the content is good, not because like you do it over like one mission a week.
Personally, I think it's a mix because I, as somebody who does not normally play Destiny, or at least before this last season, I would play it, but I wouldn't like I basically set aside Tuesdays where it was like every week I'm hopping on, I'm seeing the update to the story. And it became like a scheduled viewing for me. Like I carved out that time in my life so that I would go. And I did that like all summer. So like by the end of the summer, I felt like I had lived that story. Like it felt a lot more of like an actual real like progressing
I think it's the content.
MMO.
Because like the content before, the story content wasn't there. Even in like prior seasons, it just wasn't there. Yeah. We had a mission here, a mission there, and it's like we're not you're not doing anything different. You're doing another override and you're doing another expunge. And it's like the gameplay wasn't that enticing. It was literally just like the dialogue and the voice and that kind of stuff. You could easily just do that all at once and still have the same impact because of that story.
I don't think I would have the same impact. I think because I was in that world for that amount of time and for like that literally portion of my life, like Destiny was a regular part of my life. I feel like it made more of an impact than it normally would have. But you're right. There's no way to actually know. You know, we can't run experiments. We're not scientists.
Not like the seasonal model. I think they need. Well, we'll see with Witch Queen how they like go from here. It is like obviously stuff's getting better. We still need a lot more things to get better. Like I am excited that we're getting a legendary campaign mode. That's going to be fun. More difficult things. The seasonal activity this season, it's very pretty and it's like, oh, I love the Dreaming City, but I'm like, again, you can't fail that whole activity.
Yeah. Astral Alignment is cool and I'm having fun with it, but I will say the one that I went into that, and then you also go into the Shattered Realm. Shattered Realm, I was like, this is dope as fuck. Like, I don't know why. I really like the visuals there. I was like, this is so fun.
Well, the Shattered Throne, like the Shadow Realm world has always been super cool.
The more I play Destiny, especially lately, the more I'm just like, this is fucking fun. Like, I was having a good time, like, shooting the fucking weapons. Like, I really like the new fusion. It hits fucking hard as hell, like the new legendary fusion for this season. It hits so hard. It's been fun. Mythoclast it was fucking crazy with the new buff. But I'm just having fun with it. But you're right. There's not much difficult stuff, but I'm having a good time with Destiny.
I'm excited about the trials stuff. The trials.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That's
I read
really
about
cool.
that. Read about that.
Solo trials. I can't wait to do all that kind of stuff. But like,
I think that's really good.
They're getting better.
Yeah, they basically in that trials update thing, it basically sounded like they were like, please just play trials. We'll make it better for you. Like, it's not. It made it seem like my main. I know a lot of people's problems with trials is like the hackers, which now there is an anti-cheat. Who knows how well that's
they're still gonna get in somehow.
But, they're still gonna get in. But the hopefully it's at least better. But my main problem with trials was like, whenever you went in, you would go against teams that had played trials every single week for the last fucking 3 years and went flawless every single week. So, the second you saw a red light, you were dead. Like, nobody missed their headshots on snipers. But with these updates, you're still going to get that for sure. But with that news article, it seems like they're wanting to push more people into that playlist. And if you do push more people, especially like newer people, you're going to get less of the people that are gods, which is going to encourage more people to play.
Not at the end. Not at the flawless. Yeah.
But if you at least on the first fucking match play someone somewhere near your skill level, that is going to encourage more people to play. And you're rewarded for playing in that first.
It's a tough thing because then it's like that's why all of the streamers don't like skill-based matchmaking, is because then yes, you're going to go somebody against your level, but then the connection is going to be terrible because they're across the world. Yeah, so it's a weird balancing act. We'll see how it plays out.
But I think the changes do look good for making it better, though.
Also, I hope in Witch Queen, they change how we level a little bit, just a little bit, because RNG for power, I think, has to go.
I think that would be huge if it does. That's all I'll say about that.
It's just like, it's so bad and it's so defeating to get to do power, like to do like activities and get the same slot drop.
I don't
like that's not.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you think of if you think about other MMOs, don't do that.
They don't. What way? Like
you can literally buy your power. Like you can buy to get the max kind of for doing harder stuff in Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
So
like auction houses and stuff. But even that,
no,
no,
like
a
even
lot of money.
Or no, but like with tokens, like there's like a token system that you get for doing, like what are they called? Not strikes, dungeons, I guess, in Final Fantasy, and then you can spend those to get higher level gear.
That's fair.
Because like RNG, it's not good. You're never like, nobody's ever stoked on like, oh, I got my +2, like when you think about the stuff like Menagerie, we were more excited when you could pick the slot that you could get and then do the activity and then get that slot.
Sure.
And it was powerful.
Yeah, but like RNG absolutely, in my opinion, has its place. But I will say that like what you're talking about here when it comes to like power and like, you know, your armor and stuff like that, like getting it up to the power cap and things along those lines, I could see an argument where, you know, you wouldn't really want it. Like that makes more sense.
But nobody wants it.
I'm
like why would you want?
I can see that. I can can understand your opinion there.
Yeah, like nobody wants RNG when you're grinding for power, because then it makes your grind longer. If you don't get the slot that you need, you get screwed over, and then you have to play more to get the to get the slot that you need. And then what if you still don't get it?
And that's just yeah.
That's not fun. How is that? How is that fun?
It's just part of it. Like I don't know.
But that's like the main thing. Like you're trying to get to the power cap, and say if you get 4 arms in a row, which has happened to some people.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Sure. But
like you have RNG in what you get. Like the roll, like say with a gun, the perks, say with armor, the stats.
Yeah.
But like
I mean,
why can't honestly, like especially with Iron Banner, you have 4 bounties in Iron Banner, right?
Yeah.
Why can't there be 8 bounties? And you can choose 4 from Saladin at the beginning of the Iron Banner
rewards.
Or you say like 4 weapons, you can pick 4 weapon bounties, or you can pick 4 armor bounties, or you could go 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. Like that's still RNG a little bit, but you get to control a little bit more. We want to be able to control the drops, not the perks, but like we want to be able to control some stuff.
It's fair, but I will say it's just like it's interesting because this has definitely been the discussion since Forever 29, right? Like this has absolutely been things that people have wanted, and Bungie has continuously gotten better. Like this last season, for example, it is a 10 power jump instead of 50. Like at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, do you want to play the game? Like I don't know.
Yeah, but the problem
minimal.
The problem is because you want to play the game, you want to do the hard content, but you have to
don't even come out until like months later.
Yeah, but you still need to get your artifact to +15, and you have to get everything to what is it? 1330.
Yeah.
So if you like, why is that a bad thing to make that grind a little bit? Like we want to play the game. We don't want to be doing the same things that we've been doing for years. Like, oh, let's do 3 strikes to get a +1, and then it's not the slot that you need it. That's not fun. That's not fun.
For some people, that is the game. For some people,
yes, but
GMs that's not the goal.
But that's the casuals.
Uh-huh.
And so you want to cater to the casuals.
I can't roll my eyes louder. Jesus
no, but like
Christ.
that's literally what they did in Destiny 2 Vanilla, and look how that turned out.
This is not the same thing. The casuals that they cater to in Destiny 2 Vanilla is not the casuals that we were talking about that are playing in the middle of a season trying to get gear cap. There's a difference.
No, but the casuals don't even care about gear cap.
There's a difference between those two audiences. Like, huge
the casuals
difference.
don't care about gear cap. They don't care. They'll do the 3 strikes and then they'll be like, oh, cool.
That's not who I'm talking about then. That's what I'm saying.
Then who are you talking about?
I'm talking about people who GMs are not the goal, but they still play the game. Like,
those are casuals. Those are casuals to me.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Like, are you going to do... you want to do Master Vogue.
Sure.
That's harder than a GM. That's harder than a GM.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think, but like, even as a like if you're more prone to casual gameplay, you're not going to grind that much.
Yeah.
And it benefits you to have this system in place as well. Then less like hardcore people could do that harder content because the grind is better.
That's fair.
It hurts nobody.
That's fair. I don't know. It's just at a certain point, I'm like I said, back in original Vault of Glass, it took people literally months and months just to get lucky enough to get the drop to get to level 30. And now it's
again,
like
7 years ago. I'm talking about
then
right
they
now.
implemented smart loot, right? Where it's going to drop shit that you don't have.
But it's not
Then
smart.
they made
It's
infusion better. And then they made they slowly have just made this easier and easier and easier. It's
not
the game's gonna
easier.
grind. Like there's grind in the game.
But we grind even after we've hit the cap. Like the grind doesn't stop. Like then you want to grind for rules, and you want to grind for yes. The power grind nobody has ever liked. Nobody has ever been like, oh yes, let me do this strike another time to get a +1, and I hope that I get it in the slot that I need it in, and you don't get it in the slot that you need it in. Nobody's like, oh yes, that's fun. I love that. I love that game design. Nobody is.
I enjoy it.
Nobody is. You.
I do.
You don't though, because then what if you can't?
I don't know what the alternative is.
Because then you can't.
Like what else is the game? Like
What do you mean?
I don't know. Genuinely, like the game is an MMO. You have to get to a gear cap. Like that's just part of it. I don't know
Yes,
what.
but you could easily like grind to have like some sort of currency that you could be like, okay, I want it in armor, or I want it like they had that in Destiny 1. They literally had that at the end of Destiny 1 where you could choose, oh, I need a weapon, armor, or class item or something else I think you could get. They had that in Destiny 1. So like why don't we have it something like that here?
I mean, I don't actually remember that. But yeah,
you could level up your Vanguard, you could level up your Crucible.
Yeah.
And then when you leveled it up, you went to the tower, and then you picked which one of the ones that you wanted. Same with the factions, which are now gone, which is fine. But I'm just saying that like you need more choice if you're going to have this like wild RNG. When you say like, oh yeah, it's smart, but then it's like, okay, I did the raid, and I literally got all armor, and two chests were the same piece, the same armor. That's not good.
Some would argue that it is, because then when you finally get the drop that you want, it is a feeling of like, oh shit, I fucking got it. And you can't have that without not getting it for a while. Like
no, but like.
But I will say, I agree with you, and I am with you when it comes to the power drop, when it comes to the power climb. That's fine. I don't really.
Yeah, we don't care about we just want to hit that number so that we can actually start doing the stuff that we want to do. Like we want to grind the new weapons, and it's like I'm not going to waste time grinding new weapons, like grinding the new activity because it doesn't give a pinnacle. So I'm wasting my time right now by doing that, and that's what I want to do. I want to grind for the new weapons, but I can't. I have to do 3 strikes. I have to do 3 gambit. But then I get screwed over, and then it's like, oh, I have the same slot for 2 of these things. That's like an hour gone. That's wasted.
Yeah, no, this is fair. I completely get it. But the one thing is like, the one thing I just don't want RNG in general to ever like, be gone from the game. I think there are a lot of instances where RNG is, in my opinion, important because it adds to the holy shit, I finally got the thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
but
I don't want that ever to go away.
Nobody's ever been like, holy shit, I got arms at 1330. They've been like,
fair.
holy shit, I got the exotic. That is different.
Yeah, that's different.
You can keep that RNG.
Exactly.
You can keep that one. But like when it comes to your power, like that's not. Like, why?
I'm a lot more inclined to agree about the power thing, you know what I mean? But I do want RNG to be there for some aspects. But when it comes to power, like, that's fair. Like, back in the day, for example, when my friend Andrew finally got the fucking boots that got him to level 30, it wasn't the holy shit, I got a Gallhorn. It wasn't that. It was like, thank fucking God. It was finally.
Because they put up like goalposts, like, okay,
Yeah.
1345 is GM, 1360 is Master Vogue. So you want to get to that as quickly as possible so that like you're prepared for when people actually want to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like nobody's ever going to be
you.
like, I'm going to stretch this out and try and like grind as slow as possible, because then when somebody's like, hey, do you want to do Master Vogue? And it's like, oh, I'm only 1330.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to.
To me, I am with you. The only thing that makes me a little adverse is just like, I get that is annoying where you don't get the slot that you want. It's just like, power grinding is easier than it has ever been in Destiny. Like, ever. But I get, like, sure, we could still make it.
But it shouldn't have to be a thing.
Like,
it shouldn't have to be a thing. Like, why does it have to be a thing?
I disagree. I like it's part of the you gotta like. It would be like just basically taking World of Warcraft and taking everything out of that and having your character start at 120 and be like, okay, whole thing's gear score, which is, I guess, fair, but that's just an odd
why
thought. Because like, I don't know, you have the leveling. I kind of like the leveling, but I get then I'm alone, and that's okay. But
it's
I'm
just
alright with
again, we have
easier.
a ton of
That's fine.
we have a ton of games already, and it's like I kind of want to play other games, and so that's why I'm trying to get my power up as fast as possible. And then if I get cucked with a double drop, it's like that's not fun. And it's like, yeah, I'm still gonna do it because it's Destiny, but like any other game that did that, I'd be like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Destiny's lucky because it feels so good, and it's like literally just like my one game that I do that with. But if any other game was like that and I got like 2 drops, I'd be like, no, I'm out. And literally, that's literally every other service game that I've played. I've played Division 2, I played Division 1, I played Anthem. They all die. Destiny's the only one that survives.
Yeah, that's fair, but like I will say some MMOs like Final Fantasy 14 do have a way to like, with currency, you can like choose certain things.
The fun thing is doing the
but
cosmetics and
like a lot of them don't. Like, I don't think
like
ESO
which?
does that. Like ESO has a power grind that you got to get to a certain like World of Warcraft.
You're the only person I know that plays that game.
The
only person. And you don't even play it. So
yeah, I mean it's like the 3rd most popular MMO, but like it's fair. But like, I don't know. That's fair. Just because it is part of the genre does not mean that it has to be forever. Doesn't mean that it has to be in that game.
Yeah, it's just longevity that like you don't. They like I know that Destiny wants you to play the game constantly. They don't want you to take breaks. That's why they do the whole seasonal thing stretched out over so many weeks. That's why they want you to always come back. And it's like, sometimes it's fine. And I respect a game that respects my time. And if I want to grind out the whole thing, then I can have the option to do that. Like, I like that kind of stuff. And then I can go and come back. I'm not going to be like, never touch Destiny again. It's like, no, I just need a break from it. Same with Final Fantasy. And like, they're okay with like me taking a break and then coming back to the game. And I'm not missing anything out.
The reason why I had so much fun playing Destiny like the last week or two was because I hadn't played it in like a month and a half, 2 months. So I came back and I was like, hell yeah, this game feels great. It feels so good to shoot things. So,
but if you want to grind to do Master Vogue, you got to do a lot of grinding.
It's true.
A lot.
I am this season, I want to be a lot more purposeful of like when I play, I am playing to do my powerfuls and pinnacles so that I can get to the fucking gear cap. But I will say, I'm already starting off in a lot better of a place than I did last season, because last season I started at fucking, like the powerful cap, I guess, like where I did have to do the 10 powerful jump, whereas this season I'm starting at like 12-18. So I think I'm 12-19 right now. So I literally need a 12-20 slot in my like 3 different areas. So like once I have that, then it's like, okay, now pinnacles. So I am already starting off better than last season.
Yeah, once you get cucked on those pinnacles,
I want to be purposeful about that so I can get to the gear cap.
And then you got to do a GM.
I want to do things. I want to do things this season. We'll see.
You got to do a GM. And then
it'd be cool. It'd be cool. We'll see.
I think you have to do a GM before you do Master Vogue.
Probably. That's fair.
Because it's literally
I'm all right with
harder
that.
than
Yeah.
like a lot
I'm
harder.
all right with that. Yeah, I'm just going to be more purposeful. So my plan for this season, I want to be more purposeful about getting my pinnacles so I can get to the gear cap. But once I've done that in a week, what I am then going to do is I'm going to go to the stranger in Europa and do all of the stasis shit that I have not unlocked, that I forgot existed. Like when I was playing
You're literally just adding to your grind because like that's
I know, but like
tough as well.
I just feel bad that like it just feels weird that there's a whole subclass that there's like so many options for that I just don't have. Like it's just odd. Even if I'm not ever going to use it, I would like to have them.
No,
you know?
no, it's definitely needed in Master Vogue.
Yeah, it's like I do want the stasis things, and it is going to be easier this season now that it's all right there. So yeah, once I finish my pinnacles, that's going to be my plan. I'll then go there and start doing that. But I will say, I thought that the fucking seasonal titles went away when the season ended. They do not, but I thought that they did. So the night before the new season, I was up until like 3 a.m. trying to finish it. And then I had a friend tell me like, no, it's still going to be there tomorrow. And I was like, God damn it. I would have gone to sleep 3 hours ago if I had known. So I went to sleep and then I finished it like 2 days later. So I now have Smash.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, good luck doing like Override and
all I needed was all the upgrades for the gauntlet, and I only had 3 left. So I needed like 1,500 decrypted data. And I found a good way to go into Expunge and do like a really quick, like 5-minute Expunge and get like 75. But then it just came to where like I ran out of keys. So whenever I had 5 corrupted keys, I went in there for 30 minutes and did that. And then, you know, that was my loop. So it literally took me like 2-3 days, but I was happy because I was so upset when I tried for like 3 hours that night and I was like, I'm not gonna get it. It's impossible. And then
did you equip the title?
Fucking have to. I do. I have the title on, which is nice because I only have 2. I have the previous season one that I did like a year ago, and now this one. So that'll be cool. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. Having fun with
that
a lot
VOG
of
title
video games lately. It's
again,
there.
that's a grind, and it's a
master thing.
Pound your head against a wall. Yeah, it's a pound your head against the wall grind.
Yeah,
because that
I will say though, crossplay.
Each run,
I now have more people to possibly play with, so that's pretty cool. I do have a lot of friends that already added me from PlayStation, so that's cool.
Yeah, okay, it's very. I'm like on the fence if I ever want to do that again.
Yeah, no, that's
tough.
I get it. Like, I know that I'm gonna have a hard time getting people to do it, and even if I do it, it's gonna be a while from now. So I know that is the hardest part is gonna be the Master Vogue thing, but we shall see. We shall see. Because I do want that title. It would be very cool, and I am glad. I honestly thought that one went away for a while too, and then I was told it stuck around. And I was like, okay, good. Thank
You're gonna do Master Vogue 5 times.
Damn.
And the challenge, like, 5.
You know.
No, you know what? Oh my God, I didn't even think about it. It is. Oh, good luck getting that title now.
What? What's
because we don't because Anarchy's cucked, like it's neutered. We don't have Breach and Clear. We barely have any mods.
Yeah.
Like and our like oh God, because there are a lot more champions in Master Vogue, and like you have to deal with the champions, and so now we have like bow overload and it is
damn.
Damn.
I just looked as well. The only thing I'm needing 1320 on is my heavy and my class item. So I am close there. Hell yeah. So, but that's what we've been up to over the last fucking 2-3 weeks. We've been out here. We've been chilling, you know, fucking playing video games, watching shit. It's been fun. You know, tell us what you've been up to over the last couple of weeks. Let us know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. Smash that bell. And with that, we're going to get out of here. Tyson, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch, twitch.tv/Tyson twitch.tv/T Pellegrini. I gotta get back to Dark Souls.
Nice.
I've been streaming a lot of that, so I gotta get back to that.
Hell yeah. You can find me on twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. And the same everywhere else on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, the fucking LinkedIn, farmers only. Hit me up, find me in the streets, fight me. I'll rock, paper, scissors me in the streets. Let's go. If you just chose rock just now, you won. You beat me. Damn.
I chose gun.
Oh, fuck. God, did you ever have those kids in elementary school that'd be like, ooh, I got Superman. Oh. You're fucking. It was bad. But with that, go read a fucking book, you nerds. Bye.